All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Thursday, April the 21st, 2022. Hope you're all doing well. I'm Chris Phillips, your host of the Daily Crow of the Spurs Up Show. As always, we have got a ton to get into, and I want to hear from you all. Taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. I see John Kruger, Brendan, Travis Allen, my guy Travie. What's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Also, guys, in the Big Cock Club Discord. Head over to the TDC Questions channel. The TDC Questions channel. Be sure your questions are answered there. Again, very excited to chat with you all here on this Thursday. A victory Thursday, if you will, as after South going to get a big W last night on the road in Rock Hill against the Winthrop, Eagles. The Winthrop Eagles taking down Winthrop, final score 5-2 or so. A scrappy victory, but a victory nonetheless. Also, big news coming out this morning. Unfortunately, not on the positive, as Julian Bosnick officially ruled out for the remainder of the 2022 season, which is really not shocking. It's far from shocking news, but hate to hear it officially, and obviously wish him a speedy recovery. But yeah, either way, guys, we are here rocking, rolling here on this Thursday. And again, I do want to hear from you all. Brian Dean, yeah, how about the Yardcocks? Indeed. I mean, guys, I look at that game last night. I mean, I look at that game last night. You know what? A win's a win, I guess. I don't want to be negative Nancy here on a Thursday or anything. I don't want to be negative Nancy. I'm excited about Stone. I'm excited about Lee Croy, and of course, that was my post-game reaction. Really, that was my takeaway, was those two guys, those two freshmen. But, just nothing's easy with this team. Nothing's easy. And so does it mean anything for the weekend? I doubt it. These guys have shown that the midweek really isn't indicative of what they'll do in the weekend. But you got Auburn this weekend, a top 20 team. Of course, tomorrow's podcast, we will break everything down in regards to that series. A full breakdown of the Tigers, preview, prediction, all that good stuff. That will drop on the podcast tomorrow. John Kruger, the broadcast, sucked. The announcers sucked. I'm not going to lie to you. The announcers sucked last night. I'm not someone that's normally overly critical of the announcers, but the announcers sucked, man. So they sucked. So. Anyways, sorry, guys. I'm trying to type right here. Anyways, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Again, would love to hear from you all. Gamecocks get a big W last night at Winthrop. Also, it's been announced that Brett Thomas will officially get the start tomorrow night in Auburn. So, a big series beginning tomorrow. Have not done my deep dive yet on the Tigers. Obviously, guys, tomorrow's podcast that will happen. We'll record tomorrow's show this afternoon. And again, really excited for you guys to hear that. But yeah, till then, man, we're rocking, we're rolling here on this Thursday. Like I told you guys, I think it is going to happen, by the way. I was pondering on it yesterday. Been pondering on it for a few days, and I feel like when it's on your mind as much as it's been on mine, it's something we should take action on. So I can't say for certain whether it's going to be Tuesday, Thursday, or what it's going to be, but again, guys, we're just getting into a point. We're getting to a point in the year where things are slowing down a little bit. And so I'm thinking bringing NCAA content early. I love to do it. You guys love it. I mean, the numbers tell it. So maybe starting next week, I don't know. I'm actually going out of town, guys, Wednesday morning early. That's something, a spoiler for you guys. There's no Daily Crow Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday of next week. Podcast will drop as normal, I think. Yeah, there will be 3 podcasts. I'm not sure they're going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They might actually be Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, if that makes sense. Might actually be, I'm not exactly sure the schedule yet. But anyways, I'm going out of town Wednesday through Sunday of next weekend. Going on a bit of a bachelor trip, if you will. So homie will be on one. No, we're going to have a good time. We're going down to Orlando. Nothing crazy. 2 days, 3 days. 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 2 days, 3 da But yeah, Austin Gray, it is tank weather. Sun's out, guns out. Why not? Why not? Sun's out, guns out. It's a beautiful day in the city. Beautiful weather. I think we got a high in like the mid 80s or something like that. Something like that. High in the mid 80s. So again, guys, would love to hear from you all. I know it's a bit of a slower Thursday. Gamecocks get a ho-hum dub last night. Hard-earned dub. Excuse me. Dub's a dub. Whatever it is, dub's a dub. Gamecocks get it done. But, we'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on the game. I mean, overall, again, guys, like I told you, I saw somebody commenting on, and let's see, the high today, I believe, is 77. Yeah, 77. Going to be a really nice night, though. But saw somebody commenting on Facebook, oh, you're being negative. Sorry, I don't want to throw a parade for beating Winthrop 5-2, Sorry, I don't want to throw a parade for being tied with Winthrop 2-2 in the 7th inning. Sorry. I'll wait till this weekend when we take on Auburn. If we beat them, then I'll be a little more excited. But, it is what it is. So it is what it is. And you keep it moving. You get a midweek dub, whatever. You only get your second road win of the season. But, whatever is what it is. So let's see. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-337. Rhett Godbold. Bosnick is now out for the season, adding to the pitching woes. Is it adding, Rhett? We haven't played with him all year. The pitching woes are just the same. So, I mean, it sucks to hear officially, but, I mean, dude, we're past the halfway point by far of the season. Like, it doesn't matter anymore, Julian Bosnick's return would have only done so much. You know what I mean? And that's why I don't like I understand pitching injuries. People talk pitching injuries. Like, I get it. But again, it's win anyway, dude. Like, yeah, we got injuries, sure. But I mean, so does everybody else. Everybody else is dealing with something too. We're not the only ones. I mean, I'm not saying it's ideal to lose Julian Bosnick, but he's one guy. I mean, he's one guy. Bosnick's out. Wesley Sweat is out. Who else is out? I mean, I guess Sam Simpson's out. He hasn't pitched. Who else is out? I mean, yes, Mahoney's out, but he was out before the season ever started. Phipps is out. He was out way before the season ever started. So, I mean, who are we missing? Yeah, James Hicks. You are right, John. James Hicks. God, you know what's crazy, John? That feels so long ago that I honestly forgot we had even James Hicks on our roster. Truly. I mean, that feels insanely long ago, doesn't it? What was that, second series of the year? Crazy. Brian Dean says, have they moved Becker to closer? Brian, I mean, it appears so. It appears he is in some sort of closing role. I don't know if I'd label him the closer. I think he's just the when you need him guy. Like, I don't know how else to phrase it. The when you need him guy, I don't know. I don't know exactly what the deal is. Anyways, guys, want to hear from you. Nick Renfro, do you think Sanders will be back next year? Where's he going, Nick? He can't go to the draft. He's a sophomore. He has to stay in college for another year or he'd be transferring. So, yes, Will Sanders will be back. Yes, Will Sanders will 110% be back. Who will his coach be? I don't know, but we got a spam comment. Musha, new here, looking for a wife. Marry someone who wants. Thank you for sending a message. I'm single. I want to get married. Somebody help out Musha. Somebody help out Musha in the comments. Anyways, guys, let's see. Gamecocks get the 5-2 dub over Winthrop. We are just chilling here on this Thursday. Just chilling on a Thursday, guys. You guys want to call in, I should say. Excuse me. The phone lines are open, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. So, was a pretty cool night last night. Got to see the Braves World Series trophy. So, got to see the Braves World Series trophy, which was really, really cool. The ring. Appreciate my guy Harrison stopping by. He was obviously on the Braves World Series tour, trophy tour, if you will. So, Clemson Tigers talk. Let them know. Let them know. Again, guys, also for the Big Cock Club Discord or the TDC Questions channel, the TDC Questions channel, be sure your questions are answered there. Again, nothing even too crazy happening in the football realm, the football side of things, because we are past spring ball. Spring ball is over. And, yeah, so whatever you guys want to discuss, whatever you guys want to talk about. Travi, yeah, the broadcast was tough watching that last night. That broadcast was tough, my guy. That broadcast was tough. That broadcast was very, very tough. So, by the way, guys, I'll ask you all because, again, I value your opinion and I value your feedback. How are you guys liking the 3 podcasts per week versus 5 per week? I think it's been smart. I think it's been a good move. There is a little bit of a part of me that's, I love the daily grind, but having the Daily Crow, I think, makes up for it. We get to discuss everything on a daily basis. But I think the 3 podcasts I think it's been a good move. I mean, I just think that, I think it's been a really, really good move. Smart. Things have slowed down a little bit. And I think even when we get into football season, I think 3 is enough. I think 3 is a good number of podcasts. I really do. So, yeah, I think everything gets, as Travi just said, I think everything gets hammered down in 3. I really do. And again, we've got the Daily Crow for literally everything else. So, Joe Anders says, who's your starter in week 1, Marshawn Lloyd or Christian Beal-Smith? That's a great question. That's a great question, Joe. I'm going to go with Christian Beal-Smith right now. Would not shock me at all if Lloyd did get the nod. Liked what I saw from him in the spring game. You see some of that explosiveness coming out or coming back. Some of that explosiveness we heard about when he was recruited. Right now, I'll go with Christian Beal-Smith just because he is the veteran guy, was the starter for a Power 5 team, Wake Forest, last year that had an explosive offense. I like his game a lot, can catch passes out of the backfield as well. Beal-Smith is probably the guy I'm most intrigued about in that room, but Marshawn Lloyd may have the most upside of anybody. And then where's Juju? Where do you put Juju? Because, again, I keep saying Juju's not a bell cow back. He's not a 20, 25 carries per game back. And that might be true. But, I mean, every time the guy touches the ball, something good happens. I mean, he averaged 9.5 yards per carry in the spring game. And we saw what he did in the bowl game. We saw what he did all last season. So he's got to be on the field. I mean, he's got to be on the field. So Juju McDowell, I mean, that's another guy I'm extremely excited about. And then you've got Lavassier Carroll, you've got Rashad Amos. I mean, you've got options abound in that running back room. And again, we'll talk more about this later in the summer, but it might be the best position group on this football team. I think you could realistically argue that. Juju on jet sweeps. I mean, yeah, again, getting him outside, I think we all agree he is an outside runner for sure. That speed, that agility. Jason Cohn says, any details on why Eric Kimry left? Columbia, South kind of guy. Just the grind of college ball and not seeing his fam. Well, what I heard is that this was a job Kimry wanted before the South kind of thing even happened. And listen, I think also too. I think for Eric Kimry, and again, I'm friends with Eric, and I don't want to put words in his mouth. I'm sure he'll come correct, or he'll correct me if I'm wrong. But what I think happened, at least from what I've heard, what I've been able to gather, coaching at South Carolina was of course it was a dream of his, right? Being a former player there, and you know, I think just being a former player, and of course that's his alma mater. He wanted to coach there, obviously. Had a really successful stint at Hammond, and again, I think the Baylor job and South Carolina being on that staff is like the only jobs he would have left for. And, I just think some guys want to be a head coach. And I think Kimry falls into that category. I think he wants to be a head coach. I'm sure he missed being a head coach. We'll put it that way. There's not a ton of glory being a tight ends coach at the college level. You know what I mean? Some guys like being the number one. Some guys like calling the shots. You know what I mean? Some guys like calling the shots and being in charge. I think Kimry's one of those guys. Also, again, he wanted that Baylor job when he was at Hammond. That was like the job. That's like the job that he would have left for. And again, if you're not familiar, guys, you should really go look up Baylor School in Tennessee. It is nuts. It is nuts, for real. But also he's got a best friend that I think took over as like headmaster or something like that. And I think it just made sense. I think it just made sense for him. The money drop off wasn't as big as some might think going from college to high school. I mean, again, you have to look at this Baylor school and understand what he's jumping into. I mean, it's a great situation. It's a great situation. So I think it was just a situation that worked out for him. We also heard some rumors in regards to the recruiting side of things that, I think some of that played into it as well. But now it's obviously, again, it's no indictment on South Carolina or Shane Beamer or anything negative in that regard. I think it's an opportunity he couldn't turn down. It's an opportunity he wanted even before the South Carolina job. So let's see. Austin says, I feel like Juju and Lavoisier will play some wide receiver as well. I'd hope so. Austin. I mean, again, you brought in like 17 running backs. So trying to get some use out of them, would be ideal. I mean, certainly. You want to get your best athletes on the field for sure. We do not know who the latest welcome home is. We do not. At least I don't. We do not know who the latest welcome home is. Let's see here. Again, guys, Gamecocks getting the dub last night. Travis Allen says, Chris saw the slapdicks on Twitter, mostly taters. Are you saying that because of the clip I posted yesterday? Or that was more so just in general? I mean, again, you can tell that good things are happening both personally, professionally, but with the Gamecocks also. Right? Like, think about it. Clemson fans are the loudest when things are going well for us. Anytime we win a game, anytime we have any semblance of positive momentum, they want to chime in, right? They want to chime in. And that is because they don't like seeing us have any sort of success. It threatens them when we have any sort of success. I mean, that's how literally everything in life is. In regards to people are going to look at you and try to diminish what you are doing or demean what you are doing when they are insecure in their own selves. So that applies to my business, right? That applies to, all of us as humans every day, just going about our daily business and being happy and being fulfilled. And yeah, so, people are just going to chirp, and it's a beautiful thing though. But yes, the Clemson slapdicks have been out and about. It's so funny. My clip that I posted about Clem sucks, or whatever. Just saying we need to beat Clemson, right? And I wasn't saying, listen, Clemson's not the most important game of the season. It's not. It's not. I have seen some people before comment that, but it's not. But it's not. Right? It's not. There are many, 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 many other There are many other games that are more important. There are many other games that are more important. But, of course, Clemson fans, they never disappoint. That's why I even make content at times. I mean, you guys know I don't talk about Clemson a ton. I don't talk about them a ton because I want to talk Gamecocks. I want to talk Gamecocks, and that's what we do. And that's what we do. Right? But you post a 15-second clip. A 15-second clip. And people lose their minds. And again, the trolls have been loud on Twitter, but again, that's how you know we're popping. That's how you know we got good shit rocking. So, cheers to it. Cheers to it, man. It's a beautiful thing. The day that the trolls aren't tweeting at me and tweeting at us and commenting, not that I even give it any of my energy or time, the day the trolls stop tweeting at us is the day you should be worried about the direction of business or just business in general. So as long as they're talking, hey, you're keeping me relevant. So please continue to talk. Please keep talking. Let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Robbie Davis, a.k.a. Kirk Street.
Robbie, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself on this Thursday?
I'm doing well, man. Beautiful day and enjoying it, man. What's going
on? First off, I feel like a dum-dum for picking us to lose. But I was being honest, and I felt like we were going to lose, but turns out we wound up winning by 3 runs.
I mean, we almost did lose, my guy. We almost did lose for sure.
But sometimes, as my dad would say, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good sometimes.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. I mean, that is a fact, my guy. That is a fact for sure.
Who do we play this weekend in a conference?
We play Auburn. We play Auburn tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Not Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because last week I got a little confused. I honestly, I don't know how good Auburn is. To be honest with you, I don't know if they're ranked 25. I don't care because I'm not an Auburn fan. Okay.
Mm.
It might change between now and tomorrow, but for right now, I'm hoping we build off of what happened last night and take 2 or 3. But the realist in me is like, do you really think we're going to win 2 out of 3 against Auburn?
Yeah, I mean, it's just tough because we've been so bad on the road. 2-7 on the road.
Exactly. That's why it's so difficult for me to make a decision right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
2-7 on the road, and I don't know what it is, man. We just haven't fared well. I mean, it's tough to win on the road either way, but we just have not fared well on the road. So, and we looked at Auburn in the preseason. We looked at Auburn in the preseason and thought to ourselves that, it was going to be a series that when you looked at, wins, toss-ups, and losses, you looked at, that we feel like that should be a series win or should have a good opportunity to win the series because Auburn wasn't projected to be a very good team. And, God, now they're ranked in the top 20. So, I mean, it's just another weekend in the SEC, man. It's going to be tough. We're fighting sort of an uphill battle with our pitching staff. Brett Thomas will start tomorrow, which is obviously not normal. You got Brett Thomas tomorrow, Noah Hall Saturday, Will Sanders on Sunday. But, I mean, it's again, the SEC, outside of Tennessee and Arkansas, the SEC is just beating up on each other. And so, I mean, who knows, man? I mean, really, truly, this year in the SEC, it's just who knows. I mean, just who knows. So, Could we go take 2 out of 3? Could we sweep? Yeah. But could we also get swept? Sure. So, I mean, this team, we all know, is just unpredictable, man. This team is just unpredictable. So,
Right. I miss those days whenever we were going to a series and we were like, we're going to kick y'all's tail. I miss those days. I really do.
yeah, I mean, it's I do too. I mean, I miss listen, a win's a win in the midweek. It is. It always has been. Even in 2010, when you won a national title, 2011,
Right.
The midweek's always interesting. But I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't frustrated right now with just the state of the baseball program, because I listen. I know that parents and fans but like, this isn't county baseball, man. It's just this is not what I know as county baseball. It's not. And it is frustrating.
Right.
I mean, again, I don't want to be negative Nancy after a dub, but it's just, I feel like it's a long season, but right now I don't think we're going to make the postseason, and that frustrates the hell out of me. It really does. We're not ranked in the top 25 at any point this season. That frustrates the hell out of me. It does. It really does. So I don't know. Maybe we can make a run these last 15
without even being in the top 25.
It's probably 2019, but I mean, it's not something that normally happens here. So
yeah, it's not a common occurrence of us
it's not
being ranked.
No, it's not for sure. It's not. So I don't know, man. I mean, again, just one series at a time, I guess. I don't want to be coach speak, but one series at a time. And if you can take 2 out of 3 from Auburn, I mean, who knows? Maybe you can build some momentum, and you just beat Ole Miss, and maybe you can go on a run
and crank some and have some magic. Who knows?
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
We still got to play the games regardless. It doesn't matter.
That's it.
And I think that's it. I can't think of nothing else. So you have a great rest of your day, okay?
Robbie, I appreciate you calling in as always, my friend. Always a pleasure.
Mm-hmm. And you have a good one, all right?
Yeah, man. You too. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. 843-790-3377. I believe Justin tried to call in, if I'm recognizing the number correctly. Justin, if you'd like to call back in, my friend, the phone lines are indeed open. 843-790-3377. Yeah, I believe that was Justin. 843-790-3377. Travis Lee says most of them don't remember when 90% of them wanted Dabo gone. Yeah, I mean, whatever. It is what it is, man. Not too worried about Clemson, what they're doing, but it's fun to ruffle their feathers, man. It is, and it's so funny. Like they want to hate because we have Clem Sucks merch. It's like, my guy, I literally get paid to hate your team. Like, isn't that fun? That's awesome. It's fun. Let's turn to the phone lines here.
Call from
Justin, what's up, man? How are you?
Doing good. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you asking. What's going on?
Hey, Chris, I enjoyed spring game. I said it was fun.
Yeah, man. Spring game was awesome. It was great to see you there, my guy. I loved the pictures we took, and yeah, man, it was awesome. Man. That was an awesome day. Yeah, it really was.
Yeah. And Chris, those I did not like is the Flat Creek Clifton fans.
They were in there, my guy. I don't know why, but they were in there. So I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah, because
they just can't. They can't stay away. They just can't stay away.
Yeah, it looked like Chris. Oh yeah, and Chris, like Chris says, they don't got nothing to do. I just want to say, let's go where you be, so we can show we can get more attention, right? And please.
Yeah, I don't know, my guy. They wanted to watch a good quarterback, I guess.
Hey, Chris, they should be more by their own quarterback.
I know they should, but they wanted to watch a good quarterback, so they came to our spring game to watch Rattler spinning a little bit, which is fine. I totally get it. It's totally fine.
Oh yeah. Hey Chris, the baseball team. Hey Chris, we won yesterday. I glad we'll be with them, but I don't know, man. We just like ducking this hard right now.
Yeah, we're just struggling to victory, but victory's a victory, and I'm glad we got it. But again, we as we saw last week, it's it's not telling what will happen this weekend. I mean, we struggled to victory against North Florida in the midweek and last week, and then beat Ole Miss 2 out of 3. So I mean, you never know. You never know. Maybe this weekend against Auburn will go the way we want it. But it's just got to stay along for the ride, my guy. It's a bit of a roller coaster, but you got to stay along for the ride, I guess.
Oh yeah, because I don't think we're not gonna make the postseason unless we have to. Let's just start upset these big teams,
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, again, we gotta go on a bit of a run. We got to go on a bit of a run. So.
Yep, that's true, Chris. Hey, Chris, what are your thoughts about Mark Kingston's future at South Carolina?
Mark Kingston's future at South Carolina. I don't think there will be a long one. Again, I've said before, I don't know what they're going to do. I know what I would do if you miss the postseason this year. I don't think he should return. And again, it goes even beyond the field of play, my man. It goes beyond the field of play. Obviously, the field of play is massively important as most of it, but when you have the struggles you're having, it'd be different if you were having the struggles and your alumni base and your former players were saying, oh, he's a good coach. This is happening. Let's give him some time. But when you have the damning remarks that Mark Kingston's got going on right now behind closed doors from some of the best that have ever worn the jersey, when you factor that in, and you factor in the numbers, and you factor in the record, again, I just don't know how he survives it if you miss the postseason. I just don't know how he survives it realistically. Because, again, Carolina baseball is not like any other sport on campus. It's either win or get out. And there is a standard and expectation of fielding championship-level teams. And if you're not doing that, you're not going to get 10 years to figure this thing out. You're not going to get 10 years to drive the program into oblivion. I mean, I still view it as such. South Carolina baseball is still viewed, in my opinion, in a very high regard. It's still viewed as an elite-level program. That's how it should be treated. So even if you make the postseason this year, I could argue you still have fallen short of expectations for what this program should be fielding in regards to wins. This should be a 40-win per year program at minimum, in my opinion. Should be a 40-win per year program. And so the bottom line is you're not even remotely close to hitting the mark. You might not win 30 games. You might not win 30 games this year. Again, I don't know how he survives it. So even if Mark Kingston somehow is retained, and this is not my fire Kingston pitch here, but I'm falling into the category right now of the belief of, even if Kingston's retained, do I think long-term, however long that is, do I think that he is the guy to get us back to Omaha at any point? No, I do not. So whether it be this year, whether it be next year, I'm not saying South Carolina will never field solid teams while he's the head coach. I'm not saying that. I thought last year we had a solid team. We couldn't hit. We had a solid team. But will we ever field the type of ball clubs we fielded from 2000 to 2014? I don't think so. Where we're just like a consistent top 10 every single year. I don't think Kingston's that guy. I don't think he is. And once you realize he's not that guy, if you don't make a move, you're just delaying the inevitable. So that's where I fall right now on Kingston. Again, this is not me. I'm being very blunt and honest with you on my feelings on Kingston. I'm not obviously like becoming the conductor of the fire Kingston train. That time will come if needed. But that's my honest, open take on where we sit with Kingston right now. And I hope he proves me wrong. I mean, I hope we go 12-3 in the final 15 conference games and we somehow get to 35, 36 wins. And, we propel this young talent and we go on some crazy run. I don't see it. So, and again, when you listen to the comments of the greatest ever wear the jersey, those damning comments just let me put it to you this way. I have never had someone text me and tell me how good of a coach he is. I've had many question him. I've had many tell me how this isn't right or this isn't good or we need to do this or that. I've had plenty of those texts. But I've never had somebody reach out to tell me how good of a coach he is. I mean, what does
Oh,
that
yeah.
tell you? I don't know. What does that tell you? I don't know.
Yeah. And Chris, I had somebody ask me the other day too. Chris, nobody there taught me on Facebook. DJ Marquez is a good coach. Well, it's like the elephants in the room, right, Chris?
Yeah, for sure. No, you're absolutely right, my man. So.
Yep. And Chris, like you say, man, and Chris, nobody wants to wait till make another Howard. Nobody does, you know.
No, I mean, again, nobody wants to be in the position that we're in regards to you could be firing all three major sports men's coaches within a, 2-year span. Within a 2-year span.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
Yep.
It's not a good place to be in. But you know what? When change is needed, change is needed.
Oh yeah. Yep. Hey Chris, that's all I say, man.
Hey Justin, I appreciate the call, my guy. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Have a good one, my brother.
Yeah, man. You too, dog. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. See you soon, brother. Thank you. Appreciate it. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Let's see. Joey Guyton, I know he was playing against 2s and 3s, but I thought the quarterback, Braden Davis, looked good in the spring. Yeah, I think the upside is, is certainly there, Joey. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. But certainly a ton of upside. Love his game. Love his game. So, tons of upside from that youngster. David Garrett says, good players gravitate to good players. Rattler seems very bonded to Wells. I think Wells, Bell, Leggett, and Sampson will be top 4 receivers. No Van? You don't think Van, Dave? I think Van's going to be a top 4 guy. I think Van's going to be a top 4 guy. For sure. Let's see. A lot of Clemson fans at the game last night. Of course. Where else would they be? Let's see. Tyler Gay, other than the pitching staff being shorthanded, is this team lacking enough talent or is it mostly on coaching? I think it falls in a lot of different things. I don't think coaching's been great. I think some of it is talent. I mean, unfortunately, how many dudes do you see? How many real like studs? How many all conference guys do we have? I'll tell you this, man, because I rode him so hard in the preseason, and so I've got to call keep it a buck when we're this far into the season. Andrew Reister, man. I love the kid. I think he's a very talented player, but my God, he has had such a disappointing year. I mean, I've been very, very disappointed in Andrew Reister, his game. Just, you know what I mean? I've been very disappointed in his game. I don't know what's going on. We're talking about a guy that hit 300 in SEC play last year. I don't know what's the disconnect or what's happening, but yeah, so. Guys, we're going to jump into our, excuse me, God, a frog in my throat. We're going to jump into our first break, but I want to continue to hear from you, more of your questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Want to continue to hear from you. You know, it's crazy, guys. I was thinking about this. During the break. And it's wild that it's like the first 45 minutes of the show, they just fly by. I don't, every day it feels like we get to 12:45 and I'm like, dang, that was really fast. Things are pretty normal throughout the rest of the time, but we that first 45, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just so excited. Time flies when you're having fun. Austin Greer says, this is our best wide receiver room since Debo left. I'd probably say you're correct. You know, never forget, by the way, never forget. And you know, I respect it. I respect it, whatever. You know, people want to generate hype and buzz. And that preseason hype, was it warranted at that time? I guess looking back, no. But do you remember? Do you remember? I remember. Do you remember when people tried to say that the wide receiver core of Debo, Bryan Edwards, and Shai, Bryan Edwards, and Shai was the best receiver core ever? Does anybody else recall that? Does anybody else remember that? Because I do. And once the season got going and you got postseason, you know, we all realized it's like, man, we did not put enough respect on how good like Alshon and Bruce and all those guys were. So I'm just, you know, let's really respect the GOATs. Let's really respect the all-time legends. Let's respect the all-time legends. Joey Guyton says, I'm excited to see Sampson come in, see him play. Hope we get a big-time tight end and defensive end. Honestly, we need a big-hitting linebacker also. I don't know how many more players we're going to add to the portal, man. I mean, again, guys have been hitting the transfer portal from our team. They've been hitting the transfer portal from our team. So, but yeah, by the way, just changing course really quickly because I need to say this. To the point of these inbred crayon eaters harping and making fun of the Clemsucks content and the Clemsucks merch. Folks, I get paid to make fun of and hate on your favorite team. Life's good this way. Life's good this way. God forbid we start winning and beating them. If you think I'm unbearable now, if you think I'm dislikable now, let us win a game against Clemson in football. And I think maybe that's going to become my new number one goal. That's my new initiative. You know, my goal on a daily basis is to wake up, do what I love to do, put value out in the universe, create valuable content, right? But maybe goal 1B is to become the most hated man in the Clemson fan base. The most unbearable, the most disliked, the most resented human being in the Clemson fan base. Maybe that's my new goal. And that's my new initiative. And I would say, looking at social media, I'm already doing a pretty damn good job of it. God forbid we actually win a game. God forbid we actually win a game against them in football. Hopefully it's this year. But when it happens, my God, when it happens. But it feels good to be good, and it feels good to get paid to hate on Clemson. That's literally what I do. So, who's winning? Who's really winning? I would ask that question. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, comments, calls. Let's see. Yeah, Kenny McKinley, what a legend, man. Yeah, people forget how good Ace Sanders was at receiver as well. I mean, the guy played in the league. You know what I mean? Pretty solid. Pretty solid player. Pretty solid player. Let's see. Yeah, I think, though, again, back to our baseball team, I think we're a little bit shorthanded in regards to talent. I just think some guys haven't developed. Our hitters obviously haven't developed. And I think that's the thing that concerns me the most. I mean, I would ask this because I like to gauge the overall feelings and the temperature of the Gamecocks fan base. I mean, are there any Kingston supporters left? Realistically, are there? And I'm not asking that in like a negative way. Is there anyone out there that really truly still believes that Kingston, like, you know what, he is the answer, he's the guy? I'm just curious. I'm not asking that in any. It's not a loaded question. It's just a genuine question. I'm just genuinely curious. I mean, I don't. And you know what? Actually, before I get farther, I feel like we need to, there are overused phrases, right? There are overused phrases on social media. We see them all the time. Can we stop anytime we're critical of a coach specifically? Because that's where most criticisms fall in college athletics, right? We're not too often critical of a single player, and we at least don't harp on it openly. But when we're critical of a coach, can we stop saying or feeling like we have to say, well, I mean, it's nothing personal, and I don't dislike them. Like, what difference does it make? You know what I mean? Number one, of course, it's not personal. It's sports. It's never personal. None of us know these coaches on a personal level. So it's never personal. And also, these are paid professionals. So even if it was, you know what? You're getting paid to take the heat. It's just like, I ask myself, why do I feel like I always have to preface with, I like him as a person. He's a good guy. Who gives a damn? You're not getting paid to be a good guy. You're getting paid to win. So I don't care if Kingston's a slapdick, if he's a model citizen. It doesn't really matter to me. You're getting paid to win games. It's just funny, like how we always, especially in college athletics, you have to preface it with, it's no disrespect, and I like him as a person. Like you're like walking on eggshells because people take shit so personally. It's like, bro, I'm retiring. Let's retire that. You can say a coach should be fired, or you can say that somebody's doing a shitty job without having to say, well, it's nothing personal. I'm sure he's a great dude. I like him. That happens so much with Muschamp. That happens so much with Frank Martin. That's happening now with Mark Kingston. Like, bro, enough. Like, let's retire that. Let's retire the, well, I'm sure he's a great guy and he's a likable. Like, I don't care if he's got the qualities of an Urban Meyer. Doesn't matter to me. I'm a fan. I'm not playing golf with him every weekend. So let's just retire that. That's all I'm asking. I know that was really random, but but see, people said that all about with Muschamp. See, again, as I've told you guys before, it's cool to hate Muschamp now. I remember a time, though, not too long ago, where folks wanted me exiled from the fan base for calling for his job. It's cool to hate him now. It's cool to hate him now. Let's see. Tyler Gay, out of all of our wide receivers in Gamecocks history, which one is the GOAT? It's and I'll bring this back over the summer because this is just great off-season content. This is just great off-season content. Truly it is. I published this article last year, June the 16th, believe it or not. June the 16th. Top 5 receivers in Gamecocks football history. There's probably a lot. I'll be honest with you guys. There's probably a lot of content that I posted last last summer, last off season, but it just works so well that I will be reposting it this summer. But I actually posted my top 5 receivers, of all time, and number 1, I had Alshon Jeffrey, and I know that feels like recency bias because I know a lot of my older Gamecock fans will say Sterling Sharp, and I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm not going to say you're wrong, right? Not going to say you're wrong, but I personally would go with Alshon. I mean, maybe it's a little bit of recency bias, you know. I'd go Alshon, though. I will say this, though. Maybe this is a hot take. Most unguardable player, biggest cheat code, we could call it that, in Gamecocks ball history, I would say Sidney Rice. I mean, Sidney was a guy. And so, like, for me, like, I became a Gamecock or, like, really understood what it meant and became a diehard when I was 11 or 12. So, like, 2002-ish. So I grew up on Sidney Rice, right? I had a 4 jersey. I grew up on Sidney Rice, as many of us did in here. Bro, Sidney was just a guy that you could throw it anywhere. He was going to go get it. Sidney was unbelievable, dude. You could throw it anywhere. And he'd come down with it. I mean, literally. How many times did we just 3-step drop and throw it up? I mean, really. Who remembers that catch he had against Arkansas, bro? Like back across the body. I mean, just ridiculous. I mean, flat out ridiculous. Unguardable. Joey Guyton says you should have seen Sidney playing high school football. Where did he play again? Was it not Gilbert, right? Where did he play? Gaffney, right? Was it Gaffney? Somebody's going to comment and tell me. Where did Sidney play? I for some reason, this is slipping my mind. I know Alshon. Gaffney. Okay, I knew it was a G. And, of course, Alshon, pride of Calhoun County. Calhoun County president was his IG handle for, it might still be, was his IG handle for the longest time. So, yeah, a lot of that top 5 content I posted last summer, I will definitely bring it back because yeah. So just because it's great content and it'll play well in the off season, preseason. My bad, excuse me. By the way, guys, since we're just we're hitting 1 o'clock, we're having just random conversation. I will tell you this, and this is probably not going to be news you like, but I don't think we're going to the postseason, right? And so we have condensed our show from 5 podcasts per week to 3 podcasts per week. Now, with that being said, normally during the summer, we would have done 2 shows per week, right? 2 podcasts per week. And this is a tentative schedule, okay? Tentative schedule. I would love, by the way, to have college baseball, South Carolina baseball to cover until like the end of the College World Series, which is June 27th, the end of the month. But let's say the bracket is announced. This is a hard date. The bracket is announced May the 30th, and the NCAA regionals start June 3rd through June 6th. Assuming the Gamecocks do not make the postseason, which I feel confident saying they won't. Hopefully they surprise me. I mean, I want nothing more, guys, than postseason baseball. We all do. Let's just say they don't, though. I'm excited for this, and I know you guys may not be quite as excited for this, which is fine, and I hope you're not excited. But as you all know, I stay in a constant state of creating merch and creating content, also creating merch, but creating content, live shows, podcasts, events, everything you can think of, right? I stay in a constant state of that. So with that being said, I don't take a lot of time to step back, and I do certainly take time to create new content, ponder new content, but I don't take time to totally detach. I'm saying all that to say this. With the show being 3 times per week instead of 2 during the summer, it's going to actually give us the opportunity to, the plan right now, and again, don't hate me for this, the plan right now is to take the entire month of June off. And I say off, I just mean no Daily Crow and no podcast. Obviously, still posting content on social media, maybe not to the level in which I do currently, but taking that time to brainstorm new ideas, taking that time to work on other business ventures and other business initiatives. Because it is a dead month. Let's call it for what it is. And again, since I'm doing 3 podcasts per week, my plan was to pick it back up the week of July 4th, dive into game-by-game predictions. Then the next week, start opponent previews. And the next week, we got SEC Media Days. Then we'll knock out opponent previews by the beginning of August, or that first week of August. Then we'll dive into position unit previews, and that'll be done and knocked out by game week or right before the first game. So again, this is tentative. This is something that could change. Go with the flow, joys in the journey, all that good stuff. But right now, that's sort of where we sit. Again, I would love to have baseball to cover until the end of the month, until the end of June, because that means we're in the College World Series. I would love that, but realistically, that probably will not be the case. So again, I know you guys, I'm just sort of rambling. We're just talking, having friendly conversation. But, just to give you guys an idea. Guys, let's change things up a little bit. Let's go ahead and jump into a quick break. I want to continue to hear from you, though. More of your questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3337. So sorry for the abrupt timeout there. Without going into detail, I'll just say that the coffee hit me. The coffee hit me. Anyways, I want to hear from you, though. We will make an adjustment since we took that break at that time. Let's see. Jeff Gullidge ranks his top 5. Sterling Sharp, number 1 in regards to wide receiver. Sterling Sharp, number 1. Trying to think. Brooks, number 2. Who is Brooks? Number 3, Alshon Jeffrey. Number 4, Sidney Rice. Number 5, Deebo Samuel. Not Zola Davis. Who is Brooks? I know who you're talking about. Brooks that played in the 80s, right? What was his first name again? What was his first name again? Robert Brooks. Robert Brooks. There we go. Yes. Had the one-handed catch. Had the one-handed catch against Georgia. Yeah. Had the one-handed catch against Georgia. Yep. I do recall. I do recall. Robert Brooks didn't have the one-handed catch against Georgia? I'm pretty sure he did, my guy. I'm pretty sure in like the late 80s. If it's not, then tell me, but I think that's him. Yeah, pretty positive that's him. I tell you what, guys, again, next week I told you we're going on a bachelor trip. I'm actually going for my my sister's fiance's bachelor trip, so it should be a really, really good time. You guys ought to see this Airbnb we're staying in, bro. It is pool content. Pool content gonna be flowing, folks. The pool content will be popping. I mean, this pool is nuts, dude. At a house. Pool at the house, man. The house itself is sick. I mean, the house itself is freaking sick. So dope, dude. So dope. Kid's gonna be on island time. Got its own game room and stuff. Pool, air hockey. Bro, we're gonna be living it up. Bella Vita is the name of the spot. So Wednesday through Sunday, yours truly gonna be living it up for show. Gonna be a good time. Let's see. I would ask you guys this too. At what point in the preseason, the summer, what point do you get the itch to start like watching old games, right? Because I made this list last year. Top 5 most fun games to watch over the course of the offseason, preseason, whatever. For me, I think like the most fun kind of football game ever to rewatch is 2014 Carolina, Georgia. Like I said, I've gone on record and said that before. That game, that was a hell of a football game. I mean, truly. Because, like, I'll be honest with you guys. Like, rewatching 2012, like, rewatching the highlights of that is awesome. That game was boring, though. Like, just as a football game, it was kind of boring. So if we're talking actual high quality game, fun game to rewatch, for me, 2014, Carolina, Georgia. That's a fun one. That's a hell of a watch. Somebody mentioned magazine season. National College Football Preview drops June the 7th. I wish it was earlier. I really thought they started coming out in May. I thought they did for some reason. June the 7th is on their website what they have listed when that comes out. I believe Phil Steele's will be hold on. Does his say let's see. I think that will come out in June. Yeah, I think his is going to come out in June. Magazine expected to hit newsstands by July 4th. Okay, so not even until July. Wow. Mm. Yeah, Noah Johns, I was at the 2014 game also. What a day. Again, this is pre-TSUS. I was just there as a fan, my guy. Was just there as a fan. Yeah, Travie, June is magazine season. You're correct. June is magazine season. Gotta love Matt. Dude, it just, and I will post, I will post this article. I will post this article probably in the next week or so. I don't know, maybe like beginning of May. But one of my favorite pieces, if not my favorite piece, probably my favorite piece actually I've ever written, Hope Springs Eternal. And it just always it talks about just how awesome the preseason is. And it's in a sick, twisted way. It's one of my favorite times. It's arguably more fun than the actual season. The actual season is emotions flying, angst, the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. Like there's nothing. Hear me out, guys. Try to close your eyes and envision this. I mean, is there really? It's one of the top feelings to be sitting there on the screen porch, sun setting at 8:30, having a cold beverage. It's the middle of summer, right? And just having dreams and visions of your team and what they're going to do the upcoming fall. I mean, it's a top feeling. It's an elite feeling, just knowing we're doing our countdown every day on social media, counting down the days to football. It's a top feeling. It really is. It's a top feeling. And, yeah, so you guys, if you have never seen that piece, you'll see it upcoming soon, probably next week, because I'm itching to post it. Again, it's a piece that I love. I wrote it way, way back. Believe it or not, wrote it way back in 2014. It was April of 2014. I wrote the article after the Carolina spring game. Yep. So, hell of a time. Brian Dean thinking about opening a steakhouse. Call it Gamecocks Steaks. Every corner of the restaurant will remind you of Willie B. The flooring will be AstroTurf. Just an idea. Brian, please do it. Bro, TSUS, top sponsor or whatever. Please do it. We'll promote the hell out of it. I would love that. That'd be incredible. That would be absolutely incredible. So, again, guys, phone lines are open. 843-790-3377. We're having a chill, nice, relaxing Thursday. Right? A nice, relaxing Thursday. What you guys think? Might get out of the studio tomorrow, switch things up on a Friday, have a little casual Friday. What y'all thinking? Tyler Gay says Gamecock trivia at Tin Roof. We could do it. Why not? I'd be down. I think that'd be a lot of fun, actually. I'm down for it if y'all are down. What's crazy, man, we're not even going to be doing a Tin Roof show until May. You realize that? We're not doing a Tin Roof show again until May because we didn't have one yesterday because Tin Roof was rented out. We don't have one next week because I'm not going to be here. So, yep. So, I don't know, man. I miss it, too. I miss it. We didn't have one last week because the parade. So, I do miss it. Truly. Let's see. We had a text from yesterday I didn't get to. Somebody texted in and said, a ton to be excited for as far as Gamecocks football in Columbia for the Georgia State and Georgia games. What are the chances we get together? Oh, actually, I did read that one. What are the chances we get together? Shoddy a few beers. Let's do it. Or I'm thinking that Seawells will probably be the move again. I'm thinking that'll probably be the move again. Cates is a great game to rewatch. Could be Auburn from the recent season. Super fun in person on TV. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, every year it seems like we add to that list. Yeah, I would say watching that Auburn game would be fun. Watching the Florida game, I think, would be fun. I mean, that was a hell of a night. Yeah, it was cool, man, though, being in Willie B when we clinched bowl eligibility. I mean, that was incredible, man. That was incredible. Let's see. Grayson, is Bosnick back next year? No. I think he will try his hand at the draft or getting signed or no, I don't see any way he returns. He's draft eligible. I mean, he could have went last year. He didn't have to come back. So I'm sure he's probably regretting the decision. But it is what it is. You take a risk and arm just blew out on him, I guess. I don't know. Arm just didn't hold up its end of the bargain. So let's see. Let's see. Tyler says, imagine if the baseball team didn't ever have to play midweek games, we'd be so much better. Yeah. I don't know, man. We make everything difficult in the midweek. We do. We make everything more difficult in the midweek. For some reason, we do. I don't know what it is. But, again, it's not a telltale sign what's going to happen on the weekend. We've seen that over the last couple of weeks that, we'll struggle in the midweek and they go win a weekend series. I don't know. But, you can't even say it's the pitching. We struggle swinging it. I don't know. I don't know if we struggle to get up for those games or it's just the beauty of baseball, but it's just never easy for some reason. So, whatever. Hey, dub's a dub. Get the dub. Take the dub wherever you can get it. So, Travis says, name some of the best Gamecocks D linemen. Brian Dean says Javon Kinlaw, John Abraham, Aldrich Fordham, Brandon Shell. Brandon Shell was an offensive lineman. Keith says, in the TDC questions channel, the Big Cock Club Discord, who do you think has the best chance to be receiver number 2? I think it's going to be Van and Wells. I think it's Van Wells. I think that those two guys. I think Wells is probably going into the season, wide receiver 2. I mean, we can't forget about Josh Van, what he did last year. We can't forget about him. So, yeah, I actually ranked my top 5 guys, my top 5 D linemen. Let's see, where is it? Linebackers, defensive backs. Yeah, top 5 greatest defensive linemen in school history. Number 5, I had Kalimba Edwards. Number 4, Melvin Ingram. Number 3, Andrew Province. Number 2, John Abraham. And number 1, I had Jadeveon Clowney. So, I know, like, JD, it's hard for, again, maybe some recency bias. JD Clowney, though, man, I mean, the most dominant, you could argue he's the most dominant defensive player ever at South Carolina. I mean, really. I mean, how many guys come through that you have to cater your entire offensive game plan around where they are on the field? That's what he was. That's what he was. So, that's what he was. So, I give him the nod. Guys, we're going to jump into, I know there's more breaks today than normal. I'm sorry. We are going to jump into a quick break, though. More of your questions, comments, calls, and more on to the side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. We got a question here. Travis says, or let's see, Brian Dean actually asked, who was our hardest hitting safety, Swearinger or Brad Edwards? I think you got to go Swearinger, dude. I mean, I will say, though, somebody brought his name up. Darrell Wall Jr. did. Emmanuel Cook, very underrated. Very underrated. Very, very underrated player at South Carolina. And yes, he laid the freaking lumber, my guy. Yeah, he laid the lumber. No doubt. Again, guys, great podcast. We'll drop tomorrow. Full breakdown and preview of the Auburn series. Gamecocks traveling to the Plains to take on the Auburn Tigers. Huge series. I mean, they're all big. I don't even need to say that. They're all big series moving forward. You've got 15 SEC games remaining. You've got 5 SEC series. You sit 6 and 9 in SEC play, which, crazy enough, you're sort of jumbled up in the middle. I mean, the men will separate themselves from the boys over the last 15 games. I think the cream, creme de la creme, the better teams will separate themselves, and you just hope South kind of finds a way to be in that group, be in that category. We look at the second half of the schedule, and at least I did in the preseason, and said, this is a part of the schedule you should be able to take advantage of. But all of a sudden, like, A&M's a good ball club. Auburn's ranked. Alabama's, you got them at home. I think that should be a series win, but you just never know. Kentucky, you feel like it should be a series win, but you just never do. And then you got Florida, who's struggling. So, who actually lost one of their big arms. Barco, I believe, is out. So, yeah, man, it's the SEC is it's crazy. I mean, the parity player, teams losing pitchers, it's nuts, man. It's honestly nuts. So, let's see. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls. 843-790-3377. Kemper, what's up, my guy? What's going on? He says, maybe our baseball team can get some momentum from our recent wins. I mean, hey, momentum's a fickle mistress. Hopefully we can grab onto it. Kemper, we need to do something in the upstate, my guy, very soon. We need to do something in the upstate very soon. I actually got a DM on Instagram about something with I think the Greenville Gamecock Club's having a golf tournament Monday. So if you're up there, be sure to support. If you're up there, be sure to support for sure. Kemper, always a pleasure, man. Great seeing you at the spring game. John Kruger, yeah, Vic Hampton was underrated. I agree with you. He was underrated. It's a shame when you have guys that their off the field stuff affects their on the field. And he was one of them, unfortunately. So not really at South Carolina, but just his pro career. Brian Dean says, would you keep Kingston if we make it to the regionals? If you make the postseason, I wouldn't have near as much an issue with him coming back. Whatever, fine. Yeah, you make the postseason, you can come back. Yes. I just hate that I'm starting to really lose faith that, like, long-term Kingston's ever going to be the guy to get us to some elite level. I really felt like the jump needed to be this year. I felt like the jump needed to be this year, especially on the offensive side. Like, that's what's so troublesome for me, is that, like, you're still not hitting worth a shit. Like, talk about pitching injuries all you want, but you still can't hit. You still can't hit. That's what bothers me. Like, you added players. I know you're playing a lot of youngsters, but you also added guys out of the transfer portal. You brought guys back. It's not like it's a brand new lineup 1 through 9. And you just still can't hit. As a whole, you just can't hit. This is last year's offense without the pop. That's what it is. This is last year's offense without the pop. I mean, at least last year's offense was fun to watch. Coffee's so good. Brian Dean says, wish we could have got Monty Lee when he was available. Well, I mean, Monty's not doing very well either. Clemson's having a shit season. So, I mean, I know they want to, beat their chest because they beat Georgia and Carolina, but I mean they're 4-10 in the conference. They're 4-10 in their conference. So they got a big series this weekend. Florida State. State's a good team. State is a good team. So again, guys, like I mentioned before, podcast will drop tomorrow. Of course, Daily Crow tomorrow. No Tin Roof show yet again. No Tin Roof show yet again next week because I will be out of town. We will officially be a week from today. Yours truly will be in Orlando. Going to be down in sunny Florida. Going to be warm down there. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. Going to be a lot of pool content coming for you guys. A lot of pool content. So John Kruger says I was at the game against Wisconsin for his hit on Joel Stavey, the quarterback for Wisconsin. Yeah, in the bowl game. Yeah, dude, Vic Hampton could lay it, dude. He could lay the wood. There's no doubt. Could absolutely lay it. So again, guys, the pod tomorrow, we will break down this weekend series. Gamecocks taking on the Auburn Tigers. Very interesting series because, again, Auburn, not a team that I saw in the preseason as being very good. And, all of a sudden now they're ranked. They're ranked. So Gamecocks will play tomorrow night at 7, Saturday at 3, and then Sunday at 2. All three of the games on SEC Network Plus. So there you go. John, right? Actually, John, we're not going to Disney next week, my guy. We're going to Universal Studios. And again, it's my sister's fiance's bachelor party. That's where he wanted to go. So I was like, hey, I'm not opposed to that at all, my guy. Why not? Let's do it. Why not? Let's do it. So I don't think we're going to be making any detour stops to Disney. We're just doing straight up Universal next week. Ryan Dean says, best Gamecock trick play. I say the fake punt with Melvin Ingram. Yeah, I think so too. That was a legendary play. I think the Connor Shaw TD catch, as John mentions, also that was incredible. Excuse me. That was incredible. But that fake punt, man, just an unreal play, dude. Melvin Ingram was a freak athlete. That's just a freak, dude. Just an absolutely freak athlete. So, my guy John, hope you're having a fantastic week and day, my guy. The hats look good, by the way. I was going to tell you that the hats did look good. So, they did look very good. But yeah, looking forward to next week, man. Going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a lot of fun for sure. So. Let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Dave Garrett.
Dave, what's going on? How are you, my guy?
I'm doing very well. Hope you are too. I'm in favor of you taking June off because I know a lot of people know that you do a lot, but I don't think a lot of people really understand how much of yourself you sacrifice and devote to doing everything that you do. And I think taking June off would be good for you to refresh the batteries as well as, put more thought into the new ventures that you're wanting to do and the business side of it. So you got my vote. I appreciate it, man. Talk to you later.
Appreciate you, Dave. Appreciate the call. Always a pleasure to hear from my good friend David Garrick. And, I appreciate that that support, that vote of confidence, that support. Yeah, I appreciate that sincerely. I really do. I appreciate that sincerely. Knowing that I have you guys support and that you guys have my back. Knowing that you guys have my support, or knowing that you guys support me is sorry, I'm just reading something, trying to freaking do something real quick. But Dave, I appreciate that, man, sincerely. Like the fact that you guys again support me and all my ventures and what I do, and so appreciative. So yeah, I mean, again, we'll see what happens. I do think though June would be a good time, and again, we'll still be on social media. It's not like I'm going to go radio silent for a month, but just from the podcast, the live show especially, the live. I'll tell you this, guys. I love the Daily Crow. Obviously, the Daily Crow, dude. I can't even. It's been such a game changer for business, such a game changer. It has, and I love it, and I love doing it. I love the community we've built here through the Daily Crow. I mean, again, it's been such a game changer for business, and I always wanted to do like a daily live show of some sort, whether that be radio, whether it be digitally like this. And so, you know, it's crazy to think August of this year will be 2 years, 2 full years we've been doing the Daily Crow. Isn't that wild? It's nuts. I mean, just time flies, right? So, but yeah, I think June would be a good month to, as Dave said, sort of recharge the batteries and I do obviously invest a lot of myself into this, but I mean, I love it. That's why I do it, man. People say the word sacrifice, and certainly there are sacrifices, but sacrifice, it tends to have a negative connotation. So I look at it, sacrifice versus just doing what's necessary. You know what I mean? Putting the work in that's necessary. And so I love it. I love it. I'm Brian. I'm not going to burn out. I promise. I'm not going to burn out, my guy. I promise. I love it, man. It fuels me. I mean, it fuels me. I get to wake up and do what I love to do every day. I'm extremely grateful, and I have perspective, real perspective. So, but I think just to again take a step back and evaluate and pursue other ventures, and whether that be within TSUS, outside of TSUS, there are things I do want to do outside of the Spurs Up Show business wise. So I think June is going to be a good month for that. I mean, again, it's a slower month. Certainly there'll be, the only thing you've really, if your team's not playing in Omaha, which again, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think we'll be doing so. The only thing that's really going on at that point is, I guess, workouts start, and there's just maybe some recruiting news that'll drop, but I mean, outside of that, there's really not, because, last year, again, we were doing 2 podcasts per week over the summer. So I started doing my opponent preview series in June. And so that took up time, and that took up content. Well, we're going to be doing 3 shows per week, 3 podcasts per week, starting July. And so, we don't have to space things out as much. So again, I think it lines up well. I think taking that time in June will be very, very beneficial. And, yeah. So again, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but I just want to let you guys know where my head's at. That's the plan. And then like the week of July 4th, like I said, we'll really pick things back up and really, 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 go full steam, 3 shows per week, Daily Crow. What we'll probably do though, guys, probably when we start back up that week of July 4th, the Daily Crow probably until we reach the week of kickoff will be 1 hour instead of 2, just because again, there's just not nearly as much to discuss. But then again, who knows? Maybe we could go 2 hours. Why not? We will have a lot to talk about because it'll be preseason. SEC Media Days is, somebody asked that earlier, Brian Dean asked. SEC Media Days is like July, don't hold me to this, like July 17th, 18th. So it's like middle of the month. So, once, that right there is the unofficial start of football season. So that right there is the unofficial start of football season for sure. Guys, we are going to jump into one final break, but I want to continue to hear from you, more of your questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Final 10 minutes or so here on the Daily Crow. I want to continue to hear from you, 843-790-3377. Again, guys, a pretty relaxing day here in the city. Gamecocks getting the dub last night, 5-2 over Winthrop. I will discuss that a bit on tomorrow's podcast, but really the focus is just going to be on South kind of taking on Auburn. Tomorrow's pod, again, will drop at 5 a.m. as it always does. iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, all that good stuff. A full breakdown of the series. Really excited for that. In case you missed it, guys, Julian Bosnick has been ruled out for the season by Mark Kingston due to an elbow injury. Brett Thomas will get the start tomorrow night. He has thrown a total of 6.2 innings pitched, 5 walks, 9 strikeouts, has a 6.75 ERA. Noah Hall will start on Saturday, and then Will Sanders will get the start on Sunday. So, next week, Carolina will get the midweek off for final exams. So that's why there's no midweek game. And then Thursday night, the series against Bama starts. So I'm thinking the podcast schedule for next week, unless something crazy happens, I'm thinking we'll probably just do Monday, Wednesday. Because, I mean, there's no midweek game. I don't really see a point in doing a Friday show, like I said, unless something happens. And I'll be out of town, too. So maybe we'll try to do an interview before then and just drop like an interview on next Friday, something like that. But I will be in Orlando next week, Wednesday through Sunday. So. Yeah, Darrell Wall Jr. certainly the Pharaoh Cooper to Brandon Wilds against Clemson. That's like one of the all-time moments of the rivalry, I think. And I was there in person for that game. God, pandemonium, dude. Pandemonium, truly. So let's turn to the phone lines here.
Call from
Greg Bettinger.
Greg, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, Chris. I'm doing well. Hope you are.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Missed the first hour today. So, yeah, I totally agree with the other caller. Taking some time off, man, for sure.
Yeah, just something I pondered. And just with the way the show's setting up with 3 shows per week, which I think is going to be our just new schedule throughout the entire year. Yeah, it just opens up the month of June. But I mean, we'll still be posting on social media.
Right.
We'll have the countdown to kickoff, and I mean, hey, Shane Beamer never sleeps, man. That's what I thought was so crazy. Last year was, you think June's going to be slow, and I think that was the month we got like 14 commitments or something like that. So it never stops with Beamer, man, which is, I mean, awesome. But yeah, so.
Well, the baseball team making postseason. You think, if we duplicate the first half, we'll be 12-18. I don't think that'll cut it.
No way.
What do you think that number is? 15?
I think you probably got to get to 15-15. And I mean, even then, I mean, if you win all the remaining games you have, you're going to be at, or, if you get to that 15-15, let's say you go 9-6 in conference play, you got 3 midweeks left, that's 12 wins. I mean, you're still looking at only being 31 total wins. I think you probably got to win a game or 2 in Hoover, realistically. I mean, you got in last year with 34 wins and a 16-14 conference record. So, I want to say that 15-15 in the SEC will get you in, but I think winning a couple in Hoover would help you out a lot. So I think you got to get to that 15-15 number, though, man. I just don't see any way with your resume having a losing record in conference. I don't care what conference you're in. Like, I don't think that's going to get it done.
I agree, and it shouldn't really.
Yeah,
but
really.
I guess first we got to get to Hoover.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. I mean, it's
got to get to Hoover first. So.
Yeah, it's a bit of a log jam, man. The between 8 and 7, 7 and 8, 6 and 9, 5 and 10. It's just nuts, man. So yeah, I mean the men will separate themselves from the boys, like I said, these last 15 games, and just really hoping we're one of those teams. You know what I mean? It's just hoping we're one of those teams somehow, some way. So
well, the way this season's gone, who knows? I mean, gosh, some of the wins we've gotten were totally unexpected, and 4 of the losses, 5 even were unexpected. So yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing that's predictable about this team is that they're unpredictable. The only thing that's consistent is their inconsistency. So you never know. I mean, we could go sweep Auburn. We could get swept.
Yeah.
I just have no idea at this point. So
That's right. Anyway, I love when you do the top fives of the players all time by position or.
yeah. So we
like
did that.
today
We
and
did that
stuff.
last summer. Yeah, I ranked top 5, like, because you get in the summer and that's perfect time for that type of content. But
Right.
yeah, I did top 5 every position.
Don't forget.
So
Don't forget the old guys before Chris.
no, for
back
sure.
In the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, no, for sure,
Yeah.
man. I definitely
James
try
C.
to
Wright,
show love to those
James C.
Gamecocks.
Wright has to be in the top 5 linebackers.
I think I
He was
did.
incredible.
Yeah, I think I did have. Let's see, when I dropped it last year.
C. Wright, man, I had the pleasure of watching him play as a kid.
I actually didn't have him. I had Eric Norwood number 1, J.D. Fuller 2, Jasper Brinkley 3, Sky Moore 4, Mike Dura 5. So I think C. Wright was a guy that a lot of people got on me about.
Yeah, he was All-American.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was first team All-American.
Yeah.
But that '84 team was really good.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was great to finally meet you Saturday after the game.
Yeah. Hey, great to meet you guys as well, man. Saturday was awesome. It just got me so ready for the season.
Yeah, it got me totally fired up. And my friend, we're looking forward to seeing you again. Okay, thanks.
Greg, appreciate you, my guy. Thanks so much for the call. Yeah, really, really good stuff. And like I said, the spring game was awesome, man. Just getting to meet so many great Gamecocks and hang out with you guys and chat. And it was just incredible. It was incredible. Gets me so ready for the season. I mean, it was, being totally transparent. You do get to a point where when I go to go out and about and go to games, it's like, okay, there's a chance that I'm going to run into somebody that's familiar with the Spurs Up show, whatever. And it generally tends to happen. But I tell you that it just being a spring game, I mean, that was incredible. I mean, again, the love you guys showed and the appreciation, it's wild, man. Truly, it's wild. That's why, again, I said yesterday, and I kind of went on a rant about it, but that's why I don't care about what trolls or whoever says what on Twitter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why would I care, bro? Like, the people that show love and show support, that's where I should be putting my energy and my focus. And those are the people that really, really matter. The people that rock with us and have that, unwavering loyalty and support, man. You guys are what matter. That's see, again, like I said yesterday, too often in life, we focus on the negative comments. We can get 1,000 positive comments. We get 1 negative comment. We're focused on that negative comment. It's like, why not? Why wouldn't you put your energy into the people that actually show love and support and rock with you? Like, give those people your energy. Don't give an ignorant whatever. People are entitled to their own opinion. Like, there's just no point, though. Like, you're not going to change people's minds. So, John Kruger, we are going to drive down to Orlando. It's not a bad drive. It's only like 6.5 hours. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. So, we're going to drive down there. Going to be a really good time. Like I said, my brother's fiance, my sister's fiance, my future brother-in-law, my sister's fiance is whose bachelor party it is. So, gonna have a good time. I'm really excited for it. It's nice to switch things up every now and then, get out of the city and, whatever. But again, we've had a fun week. You guys have made it a successful week. And it's not over yet. Of course, again, we got the podcast tomorrow. We got the Daily Crow tomorrow. I might change up the location a little bit, do this thing a little bit remote. You never know. But either way, man, going to be a really, really fun time. Guys, we're about to hit 2 o'clock. Appreciate you all tuning in. Like I said, stay tuned. Content bleeding out the eyeballs. Of course, Gamecocks will take on Auburn in that series starting tomorrow. Like I just mentioned, I'll have a full breakdown preview on the podcast. We'll talk about it on the Daily Crow tomorrow. And again, of course, there'll be plenty of content around that. Outside of that, yeah, gonna go enjoy the weather. I think might be watching some baseball tonight in the city. So if you're out and about at Old Segra, you might see yours truly out there. You never know. And if you do, say what's up. Say hey. So why not? Guys, again, I want to say thank you. Thank you truly so much, man, again, for the love and support. You guys showing that love, man, rocking with the merch, rocking with the content, rocking with the podcast, rocking with the Daily Crow, rocking with everything we do. Without you all, TSUS would not be what it is and what it's becoming. Guys, we've hit 2 o'clock. Appreciate you all tuning in. Have a great rest of your Thursday, and we will talk to you